Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Dane from NYYU. We'd like to welcome you to the Yankees Farm Report. Los, I'm back.
I see that. I see that. I see that. You came out of the woods going to the city.
Yeah, I came. Whoa, that was a long trip, but it was absolutely amazing meeting people. Everybody was absolutely awesome, and
hmm
getting to interact with the people that watch us was really a special time for me, and it was really cool. But let's talk some prospects.
All right. Let's get into it.
AAA, what'd you see?
At AAA, have Everson Pereira was my player of the week down there. He had 375, 412, two home runs. He had five extra base hits and five RBIs. Had a really good week. He had a really good week down there. Hopefully it's a sign of, something starting for him. Um, because as you know, he's kind of been struggling at times. Um, I don't want to say struggling at times, but it's more of his MO, right? Where
Right.
his good at bats come in bunches, and then he'll have a flat week. As you know, as I've said before, he's the type of player that he needs an entire body of work. You can't play him every other day and then expect him to perform when called upon. He's not that type of player.
No.
He needs consistent at bats.
He's on a streak right now. He's hot and
hmm
he's doing exactly what he needs to do because the really unfortunate thing is there's probably not a whole lot of opportunities for him here in the
hmm
Yankees system. So the better he plays, the better he's going to be in the future when he's on another team.
hmm
I don't know. I think that he's going to be fine, but
The other guy I wanted to talk about was TJ Rumfield. It was his first week at AAA. He had 273, two extra base hits, six RBIs, and a walk. He looked really good in the first, I want to say the first game that he played down there. And
uh
he had a big defensive play, which is what he's known for. I think he won a gold glove, or was it
yeah.
platinum? I'm not sure, but definitely a solid defender. So it's a good thing to see for him down at AAA that he's gotten off on the right foot.
The bat looks like it's the combination of the 2 years, or a little bit closer to the
Yes.
combination of the 2 years.
hmm
If he does that, he has a very big upside.
hmm
Um, you and John put me on, kind of gave me a second look at him, and you guys
hmm
are right. He's got a chance to be the first baseman for the Yankees.
He does, and like I said, like you and I have spoken about him before. It's just he needs to find that happy medium
Mm-hmm.
between what he did last season and the previous season, and he looks like he might have done just that. I don't think he's hit a home run just yet, but he does have a couple extra base hits. So it's only a matter of time.
And you're seeing some good exit velocities off the bat from him. So,
hmm
once he gets a pitch, he'll start driving the ball out of the park a little bit more. How
hmm
did Caleb Durbin is a name that I heard a lot about this weekend when I was
hmm
in New York. What
hmm
do you think that he's going to do? What do you think the plan for him is?
I see him as a utility player. He's a guy that's been playing all over the field, second base, third base, even shortstop now. He's playing left field. He's played center field. I think he just hasn't played the right side of the field, meaning first base and right field. But other
Right.
than that, he's played all over the field, and I could see that as a role for him going forward for the organization. Especially if Oswaldo sticks at third base.
Yeah. And he looks good in person, by the way.
He has looked good all season long. Well, yes, it's the season. I would say since maybe the second half of spring training, he's just absolutely looked really good. Overall, I'm very happy with his progress. Where he is right now. I don't want to see him pulled out of the lineup. I know DJ is about to start his rehab. I want to say Wednesday, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mistaken.
Tuesday or
I don't
Wednesday.
know. I don't know what the plan is when he comes back, but I mean, you just can't bench Oswaldo, who has a hot bat, just because DJ's back. I've been saying for a while now, I don't think DJ should be playing full time or 5, 6 days a week. Maybe you could cut that back. Maybe he plays some second base or first base as well. Those are options because those are two players that are struggling bad right now.
Yeah. And I think that's what he should do is play some first base, play some second base, play some third base against tougher lefties, maybe,
hmm
and keep goodness dang Cabrera
That's
there.
wild though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to pull a bat because there's offense is not coming from everywhere in the lineup, and he's one of the hot bats. I would continue to ride the hot hand.
Now, sorry, I jumped back to the major leagues. I made you follow the bouncing ball, but
Mhm.
let's get back to the AAA pitching.
Will Warren was my pitcher of the week down there. He threw six shutout innings, um, two hits, a walk, seven strikeouts. This is more of the in line of what we were expecting to see from Will Warren. So
Right.
hopefully is the start of a nice run for him. We know that's what he did last season at Scranton.
The
Um,
weather warmed up, and he's a kid from the down south. Maybe he
mhm,
didn't like pitching in the cold weather. I think you're going to see a better Will Warren than we saw the first couple starts. I think we're going to
mhm.
see him continue on this path. I'm still very high on him.
The other guy that had a pretty good week down there was Edgar Barclay, who's pitched really well as a starting pitcher this year. He threw four and two-thirds innings, gave up two earned runs. He did have three walks and five strikeouts. But overall, he's pitched really well down there. He's actually surprised me, with how well he's pitched down there. I know you've been, talking about Edgar for a while now, but yeah, he surprised me. He's pitching really well.
He has. He's looked really good. I
Hmm.
still don't like him in that starter role. I think that his future is in the bullpen,
Hmm.
but maybe he's proven us wrong. Maybe he can be a Nestor Cortez type. That
He's certainly pitching like it.
yeah.
And the last guy that I want to bring up was Alex Mauricio. He pitched two and a third shutout innings with three strikeouts, just gave up one hit. And he was promoted from. He's actually been doing the same thing that Yordan Calderon has been doing, which is
Uh-huh.
shuttling back and forth between Somerset and Scranton. And he pitched well there last week.
Do you think that's okay for his development though?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe those are those rubber arm type of guys. I know Yordan has pitched well no matter where they have put him.
Right.
Um, and I did wonder at times what that meant for their development or what the organization thought of them. But they've pitched well. Well, I know Jordan has pitched well when he's bounced around.
Yeah, he has. He's pitched very, very well. But it just
Hmm.
you wonder what that has to do with their development because you think that they would leave him at a one level and one role. I
Hmm.
mean, do they think he's got a major league future or
I
what
mean,
would his
I definitely think Jordan does have a major league future.
so do
Um,
I.
for me, he's like that Ramiro Mendoza type. The guy that's going to eat multiple innings. If you need a spot start, he can give you three or four innings as well. That's what I foresee for him.
I agree. Anybody else at AAA you want to touch on?
No, that was the last guy.
Well, let's get to Double A and embarrass me.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm still getting over that.
Yeah.
Ben Rice was absolutely phenomenal, man. He went on a run of what is it, three home runs in three straight games. He had
Yeah.
375 with a 1340 OPS, four home runs. I think it was six RBIs and a walk. Absolutely phenomenal week from him. Yeah, he looks like he's back.
He
He looks
looks
like
like
he's back.
he looks like he's the player that he was in the second half again. And this is
Yeah.
what we wanted to see. We wanted to see the power and the
Hmm.
another extent, and it's there.
Hmm.
Um, the question now becomes he's been catching a lot,
Yeah. Well, that's because TJ was playing there, right? Most of the time
right?
when last season when was playing first base, TJ was hurt. TJ was on the IL.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I never put that together.
Yeah.
So, do you think he's going to get some more reps at first base?
Well, now I see him playing a lot more first base. Do they have anyone else that plays first base? You'll probably see a swapping between, I guess, him and August, but Ramirez doesn't play a lot of first base. I think for me it has to be Ben Rice, the guy that gets the majority of the playing time at first base.
And that first base is the clearest pathway to the majors for pretty much any position right now.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
and then my other boy, Drew Thor or Tristan Reeling.
Tristan Reed. Well, before we move to reading, let's finish up with the hitters. And Spencer Jones is the other guy who had a really good week there. Everyone is happy to see him back in the lineup. I am. I know you're a big fan. Spencer Jones hit 333 with 400 on base, 900 OPS. He hit his first home run yesterday, two RBIs, two walks, three stolen bases. I'm happy he's finally back in the lineup consistently.
Yeah, and he's been playing some good defense in center field. It's going to be
Hmm
really exciting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him going forward. At what position the Yankees
hmm
want him to
I
play,
mean,
and
I think the Yankees will be waiting to, cross that bridge once they get to it, but because these things always have a way of working themselves out. So who knows?
they
Who
do.
knows if, if they want him to do the whole first base center field thing. I mean, I think the important thing is to get his bat in the lineup somehow.
Right. I would completely agree.
The other guy who had a good week was Jared Wagner. He had 308, 357 on base, had an extra base hit, an RBI, and a walk. You also had Elijah Dunham who had 278, 906 OPS. He had a three-run home run yesterday with two walks as well. So happy to see him doing well. And that rounds up my top hitters for the week at Somerset.
I've been really excited by Wagner. He's kind of come out of nowhere for me.
Hmm
I really wasn't I wasn't expecting him to perform like he has. He really looks like he's a good player.
Like he's legit.
Yeah, like he's really legit.
Yeah.
Now, how about the pitchers?
On the pitching side, it's this guy's like the postman, Tristan Vreeling. Um, he goes eight. He pitched into he threw a no hitter into the eighth inning, seven and two
Yeah,
thirds inning, only two walks, six strikeouts. I don't even know what to say about Tristan anymore. He's kind of wowing me, kind of like a Drew Thorpe, the early Chase Hampton of last year. Looks like the Yankees have another legit pitching prospect on their hand right now.
they do. And I have been I was high on him coming out of college because he
Yeah.
came from Gonzaga and all that by me.
hmm
And I'd been telling you that, watch out for him, watch out for him.
hmm
But even this is surprising me.
Yeah.
Um, I love the arm action. I love how he's mixing his pitches. It's an incredibly balanced approach.
hmm
I know the fastball, it's not that blazing 97, 98 mile an hour fastball, but it's located. And
Yeah,
he's got great command.
I was
And
gonna
it's,
say that.
yeah, I'm really impressed with him. He's going to
No, I
be
was gonna.
someone that we're talking about as our best pitching prospect in the conversation for our best pitching prospect later in the year if he keeps this up.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the command has been absolutely phenomenal. I love his mound presence. Um, I can't speak any more highly about the guy than you already have. But I'm loving everything that I've seen from him so far. Just hoping that he can keep it going. I don't know how much longer. Let me not go there yet because it's still early in the season. I think it's only four starts for him, three starts, three or four
Three
starts.
starts,
How many innings do you think he's gonna throw this year?
100.
Mm,
100. Do you think they let him get to 100?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. I don't know. I don't know what he did in college. I don't know how many innings he threw in Arizona.
I think he threw about 17 innings in Arizona, 16 innings.
hmm
It wasn't a ton,
hmm
but I think he pitched quite a bit in college. He was a pretty consistent starter at Gonzaga. So I, they'll probably go back and add 20 innings to whatever he did in college, would be my
He was a
guess.
he was a third round pick.
Yes, he was a third
Yeah.
round pick.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, absolutely phenomenal. Very excited to see what he does next. Um, he's starting to get that buzz, so we'll see how he continues to develop.
Yeah.
The other guy I wanted to mention was Brock Selvage. Last week Brock pitched to a 1.80 ERA, 10 innings, two earned runs, eight hits, five walks, four of which came in his last start, which was yesterday, and 10 strikeouts. I don't think he's given us that wow game yet, but I've seen a lot of good in his starts. Um, and I hate to bring it up, but in a couple of his starts, defense did not help him out,
Right.
and so he's had to figure out ways in how to get out of that trouble, and get off the ropes a couple of times. I saw one game. I don't know if it was the from last week, but he had bases loaded with I think one out or no outs, and he ended up getting out of that with just one run. I think he had a strikeout, and then he induced a ground ball double play, which is stuff that you want to see, right? You want to see when your pitcher
Right.
gets in trouble that he finds ways to get off the ropes, and he's done that on multiple occasions. But like I said, he hasn't really had that one wow start yet, but he's had a lot of good starts, and I've seen a lot of good things from him. Like I said, getting off the ropes when the offense is or when the defense isn't helping you is a big part of your development, and he's doing well in that department.
See, I want to see him do what he's doing right now. He doesn't have his best stuff like he did in the futures game.
Hmm.
That wow game, like you said. But
Hmm.
what he's doing is pitching out of trouble. That's part of his development.
Yes.
And I think that bodes really well for his major league future because he's showing that he can do that at AA at such a young age.
Hmm.
I'm very high on him. I think he's going
Yeah.
to be a big part of this team.
Hmm. The other three guys I wanted to mention, bullpen arms. Ryan Anderson is off to a really good start. Um, two and a third shutout innings, 4 hits, 3 walks. You also have Carlos Gomez, who's having a really good year. He's been in the system now for 5, maybe 6 years, but looks like this might be the year that he breaks out a bit. Two and a third shutout innings, no hits, 3 strikeouts. Jack Neely, two and a third shutout innings, 2 hits, a walk, a strikeout. Um, Neely is off to a really good start this year, so he could be a guy that we see this year, depending on how much help the bullpen needs.
Yeah, the bullpen looks a little shaky now with Nick Birdie going down. I think
Hmm.
that you could see Neely factor in later this year. They're going to need help. They're going through arms quickly at the major league level. I think he might get a shot, and he's really good.
Hmm. But we thought that he would be a potential guy that debuted this year, and just what we've been seeing from the bullpen and from the Yankees this year, that ramps it up a little bit more.
Absolutely. So, anybody else there you want to get at?
No,
Well,
that's pretty much it for that league.
Hudson Valley.
At Hudson Valley, Omar Martinez is your player of the week there. Um, he hit 400, 647 on base, 1347 OPS, a home run, 3 RBI, 7 walks. Um, you also had Jay Savina, who made his debut this week. He hit 286, 500 on base, an extra base hits, 4 walks. And then your boy Jesus Rodriguez hit 263, an extra base hits, 3 RBI, and a walk, and that rounds out the hitters at Hudson Valley this week.
I'm still really excited about Rodriguez. I want to see what they're going to do with him positionally. I'm not
Hmm.
sure that I watched a lot of him on the plane catching. I'm not sure
Hmm.
he's a catcher long term.
Well, I mean, that's why he pretty much moves all around the field, right? First base,
Yeah,
third base, left field. I don't think he's played center yet in the org, but he moves around the field. He could be a corner guy.
yeah. Now on the pitching
Moving on to the
side,
pitching side, I think the pitcher of the week there for me was Ben Shields. He's that undrafted kid.
yep.
He threw to a 1.50 ERA, 6 innings, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts this week. He does lead all relievers in ERA with a 0.77 over 11 and two-thirds inning. You also had Baron Stewart pitched a 169 ERA, 5 and a third innings, 1 run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Ben Hendry, who followed up his amazing debut last week with
Mhm.
4 innings, no earned runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Cam Schlittler, another good game from him. He pitched to a 2.24 ERA, 4 innings, 1 earned run. He did have 4 walks, which is not normal for him. And 7 strikeouts. He's leading the organization ERA with a 0.60 ERA, by the way.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that low.
Yeah, then you had Cole Ayers, who did 3 and a third innings, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And then Jeffrey Gilbert pitched 3 and a third shutout innings with a walk and 4 strikeouts.
It's just a pitching factory.
Yeah.
It
I mean, I'm
really
really
is.
big. I'm really big on Cole Ayers. I like Jeffrey Gilbert. Cam has looked really good.
Yes.
Brian Henry of this group is probably the guy that I'm most intrigued by, and I definitely want to keep an eye on going forward. He's just really looked really good in both of his games.
He's got some impressive velo too.
I don't know what he was like. I haven't been able to look at that. been in bed for pretty much a week. There's a lot of that I wanted to do, didn't get to do, but yeah.
Yeah, he's looked good. The velocity. I read a Baseball America report that he was in the upper 90s. I didn't think he was throwing that hard, but
I'll go
you
back and
know,
try to look now that
yeah,
I'm on my feet.
yeah. And I'm out of it too because I was out in planes for the last 4 days. So now you want to get to Tampa?
Yeah, moving on to Tampa. At Tampa, your player of the week there was George Lombard. He hit 286 with a 423 on base, 804 OPS. He did have two extra base hits, his first doubles of the season. Four RBIs, five walks, three stolen bases. You also had Emmanuel Tejada who hit 321, two extra base hits, four RBIs, two walks, two strikeout, two stolen bases. Um, Tejada has probably been the best offensive player for Tampa. I know he's been their highest. He has the highest batting average, but
Right,
um, absolutely phenomenal start from Tejada. And the last guy, Brenny Escanio, hit 333 last week with a 1020 OPS, three extra base hits, three RBIs. Most of his damage came in yesterday's game.
right. Are you concerned at all about that Tampa team?
Of course. Of course, but they seem to be coming out of it. I hope so, especially the game yesterday was the start of something for them. Or
Yeah,
the day before, sorry, they put up, I think it was 8 runs or something like that. And everybody got in the action there. They had about four guys with multi-hit games. So it's still a wait and see approach, as we talked about this before. Um, the development isn't linear. You're not going to see a straight arrow going upward
right.
at all times. There's going to be bump in the roads. There's just so many factors and so many different variables when you go from rookie ball into the affiliates for a lot of these guys. I think they're still trying to figure it out.
I think they're missing two players very badly,
Hmm.
and that's Kiner Delgado and John Cruz. That lineup was so balanced, so good last year in the FCL. I wanted the whole team to go over, if that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
of
And
course. No, that's what I was thinking. That pretty much the entire team was going to be moved up. It made sense.
yeah, just keep them all together and let them do everything. And I think that they're trying to incorporate kids from last year's draft, and
Hmm.
uh,
No, they definitely are. I mean, we've had
yeah,
this conversation, and I do think that the offense is missing Kiner Delgado. I didn't think about John Cruz. I actually was thinking about it this morning, though. Um, it was the first time that I wondered about, John Cruz in the lineup. There's a camaraderie that you have when you've been playing with people for so long. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows that if I strike out here, if I ground out here, the guy behind me will pick me up. And there's just that feeling, right? And when you start moving pieces out of off that team, from a team that's been playing together for so long, you wonder how that affects them.
yeah, I really think that's part of what's going on down there is that they're trying to adjust to new pieces in that lineup, and
Hmm.
they're missing pieces, but they'll figure it out. I think that Roderick Arias, I know there's been some concern. I think it's a little overblown at this point.
Hmm.
I just he's gonna struggle from the right hand side because he has not faced that many left hand pitchers until now.
Hmm.
Um, I think people that are seeing his demise are way, way, way out of pocket, way
Oh
ahead of
my God,
schedule.
that's a little exaggerated. I don't know about demise. He's just struggling right now. Like I said, um, there's going to be progress and there's going to be some setbacks as well. There's going to be bumps in the road. Development is not going to happen on our schedule. It'll happen whenever it happens. He's right now. Roderick has 11 hits. I believe of those 11 hits, I want to say seven are extra base hits.
Right.
He leads the team in extra base hits. Um, I'm starting to see positive signs. He raised his walk rate from 9% to 12%. It's not where we want it to be, but it's trending in the right direction.
Right.
He lowered the strikeout rate, which I think was at 51%. It's now at 41%. So, there are moments or there are pieces here where there's light at the end of the tunnel. Last week he had about an 18% walk rate, which is more in line of what it is that we expect out of him. The K rate was at 28% last week. Again, these are no these are numbers that are starting to look normal for him.
Yeah. And I know that I said that he, in the conversation in the last show we did, that he would be the guy of the four that I would move on from. But
Hmm.
I'm not going to bet against this kid's talent and ceiling. He's just been too good coming. He's going to figure it out. He's going to be an elite player. And everybody who's thinking that he's not needs to pump the brakes a little bit because this kid's going to prove a lot of people wrong.
It's way too soon for any of that, man. Like I said, he just got out of the rookie leagues into the affiliates. He's facing pitchers he's never faced before. He's going to face a lot more left-handed pitchers than he has prior to getting to the affiliates. There's gonna be growing pains, unfortunately. There's gonna be growing
Yeah.
pains for all of them. I mean, even Lombard, as good as Lombard has
Yes.
been, I'm watching him make errors that I just don't expect. I'm watching him, not hitting the ball as hard as I would expect. There's gonna be, like I said, there's gonna be growing pains. It just development is not gonna happen on our schedule. It's gonna
Right.
happen when it happens.
100%. And these are still young kids. And as you said, they're still growing, they're still developing, they're still filling out, and they
Yeah, I mean, look,
will.
Lombard is 18 years old. Roderick 19. These are still teenagers at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If he was born in this country, he'd probably be a
Yeah.
freshman in
He will.
college.
Yeah. He would be. Or just entering pro ball for, he would have just been drafted last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about on the pitching side?
On the pitching side, Luis Serna was my pitcher of the week. He threw four and a
Yeah.
third innings, one run, two hits, a walk, nine strikeouts, which matches a career high for him. You also had Kate Smith, who also pitched. He pitched three and two-thirds inning, one run, three hits, five strikeouts. Alan Facundo, 3 innings, one earned run, four walks, which is not really what I expect out of him. With one
No,
strikeout, and that rounds out my pitchers at Tampa this week.
I am really happy that Luis Serna is back in the
Yeah.
rotation. Boy,
Hmm.
does he look good. That
Yes.
changeup is filthy.
Yes. I mean, I'm not sure if it's a changeup or a curveball. I don't know what it is, but that whatever that breaking pitch is just nasty. I know he does throw a nasty changeup as well. What is he at, three pitches, I think, right now?
I thought he
Um,
had four.
I, I don't remember. I mean,
It doesn't really matter, but
it it could be the fourth then. But he has looked absolutely phenomenal, especially last week. And I'm happy that he's back on the mound.
yeah. And I think you're going to see him move up the system more quickly than others. I'm very high on him. I think he's got a very high ceiling. But
Hmm. Hmm.
any other news or notes that we want to get to?
No, I think that's all as far as the players for this week.
So, what do we got coming
Yeah.
from you later this week?
Like I said, I'm just getting back on my feet now.
Yeah.
I'm still pumping out other content. I know there's a video or two that I didn't get to do from last week. I know Jay Savina was one of the guys that I did want to post on a video of for one of his games last week. Um, I started posting IFAs in the members only section. If anyone is
Yeah.
interested in that as well. Um, we just continue working. We have another video coming out on this week where we did the prospect panel.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys will enjoy that as well.
Yeah. And big shout out to all those guys that joined us. It was an amazing time. Appreciated it so much.
Yeah,
Guys, we're really going to pump a lot of stuff in that IFA section for the members. It's worth checking out, and smash that like and subscribe on your way out, guys.
absolutely, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
as always for tuning in.